Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? I'm just coming out from outside. I apologize for the look. I 2 nights ago had the luxury of being able to check out a movie called Supernova. This was directed by Harry Mcqueen. This is starring Stanley Tucci as well as Colin Firth. This is also starring Pippi Haywood. I apologize for the name drop. And the synopsis reads, Sam and Tusker are traveling across England in their old RV to visit friends, family, and places from their past. Since Tusker was diagnosed with dementia 2 years ago, their time together is the most important thing they have. Now, Colin Firth is playing the role of the man that is going through his partner, his significant other, going through dementia. Now, I've gone through 2 different films this year in the same exact path, and this is very different than those. Because The Father with Anthony Hopkins won this 10 out of 10 film, and he easily could probably win Best Actor in his performance with that. But it dissected the levels of dementia in a very memento type of way. Then it was Lou Gaza Jr.'s The Cuban that kind of dealt with, the family aspect of that, or being distanced away, or the after effect after dealing with years of dementia, what that looks like on the other side of that. This is the stages of it before it even gets there, and what are the ramifications of the planning process with it. Because Colin Firth's character, Sam, he very much so loves Tusker. He lives for him. Like, it's not even so much that, yes, he is a classically trained pianist and he has tons of friends and family, but the one thing that he needs to survive in this world is Tusker. The issue is that Tusker is losing track of his whole mental state. Like, he cannot maintain himself, nor is he the type of person that wants to let himself suffer and get to a point of not being able to do what he is capable of, which is being an excellent intellectual writer. There are moments in this film that they go through all the different concerns and the worries in the most natural, progressive kinds of ways, as well as there is an underlying thing throughout the film that you're trying to figure out, like, what is going on? Like, because you can tell that somebody's in on something, from different small nudges with conversations with family, from different locations they're going to. You can tell there's something else happening in the background. And I think that is the most intriguing part about this film, especially when you get to the third act and understand the weight and the gravity of what's really happening. And then also the symbolism of what this title is, Supernova. They do explain it in a very complicit but yet natural way. It's just a small conversation that's had on a hammock with somebody, other character, that the character Tusker is having, and it really it unpacks itself. The best way I can possibly say it. So as far as the way that this film was shot, it felt like a natural, progressive film. The cinematography it wasn't anything spectacular, but I would say that the locations that they go to, the places they go to see, it felt like a real road trip. It felt like these real people going through this, as naturally as where Nomadland did the same exact progression, with going to different landscapes and having a person going through the process of what they were going through with Frances McDormand. Now, this is the thing about this film, as far as the acting in it. The acting, both of these men, I've seen them do better. I've seen them act better. The thing that works, though, is the chemistry. Like, they completely sell that they are in love partners. They completely sell that they are devoted to each other. They also completely sell their inadequacies amongst each other. There's conversations that happen in the car that I was kind of like, man, that'd be bothersome to me. But they feel like a real married couple. They don't really put labels on where they are as far as the distinction of where they are from by law to each other. But they do make a lot of different nudges to the whole point of marriage and what that means of taking a person at their worst and taking a person at their best, and no matter what, still sticking into it. As a matter of fact, that whole sticking into it part is where, towards the second and third act, that they start showing really good moments of acting capability. And Stanley Tucci specifically has this one scene that breaks your heart. It tears you up inside. Colin Firth plays a more meek, weak and frail frame throughout the film. Like he is naturally, progressively crying or emotional or breaking down throughout. You can tell that there's something that's eating away at his mind. And I think that natural performance does work and it carries over better for the film than overacting, which is not needed in this film. In terms of the story, I think that the story was very, it's not something that is necessarily comfortable in any way, shape, or form. But it is a natural life progression when you have people that have different goals, that have different understandings of themselves and what they really need. And that compromise when it comes to marriage or when it comes to a partnership, what does that really mean when it comes to love? What does that really mean when somebody's going through something like this? I think that's the most engaging, entertaining, and interesting thing about this film. I would give this film, I would say a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. I think it is worth watching for the chemistry as well as the open dialogue and conversation, because they do really go into some certain lengths that I didn't think that they could go to. And it does have some dark moments. There is some deep-seated stuff with that. This movie also isn't exclusively explicit. Like there are scenes where, you know, both men are together. There are scenes where it's like kissing and stuff in bed, but it's not like over explicit for no good reason. They don't go and over exhaust that. They really do show the natural chemistry that is actually evidently acted and seen throughout this entirety of this film, which is amazing to actually do without going overboard, which I appreciated. So again, 7.5 or 8 out of 10. In between that, I say 7.7. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. Definitely go and let me know in the comment section below what you thought of Supernova. I'll talk to you guys later. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Peace, guys.